Hi, Julie.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. It's been a while since we talked and had a podcast.
It's been a little while. Um, you're still in Poland.
Yes, I am. I have 2 weeks and then I'm headed back home.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Like how much longer you have.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's strange.
So,
It's
what are you going
it's
to do
diff
with the rest of your time?
I don't know. I'm sort of in that place where I have nothing really planned, and so I don't really know what to do with my next 2 weeks. Like I have a couple of Polish lessons. Um, but I don't have any other plans. So
Okay.
before it was like nonstop. I was going, I had stuff, and now it's kind of just like real life with no job. And I'm like, what am I going to do with myself for 2 weeks? So,
Well,
but Friday I went on my hike.
yep.
So I don't know if I'll plan another similar outing or not, but
Okay, so I have to tell you, I was pretty concerned about you. Well, first of
really?
all, let me say this. I was concerned about you whenever you said that you were going to be like unreachable for a week
Well,
that
you
first
knew
time.
that you knew that I was going to be with the family though, right?
Yeah, but how do I know that they're not going to take you in the woods and chop you up? That's where my brain goes.
I don't know because they have like a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old and
I've seen enough
it's
TV to know that doesn't make a difference.
I know. I know.
But I'm glad that you.
I I'm glad that you worried about me, but I didn't know you were so worried.
No, I mean, I wasn't that worried, but, you
Hmm.
know.
I think you watch too much news.
I don't watch that much. It bothers me.
Yeah, I know.
I try to avoid it, but then sometimes I have to binge it when something like really bad happens.
Yeah, no, I know how you get.
Yeah, it's part of my
Oh,
process.
so you were nervous about that.
Yeah, and then I was nervous when you said you were going on a hike by yourself because then I just
Um,
imagined like a woodsman with an axe.
I know, but
I don't actually vividly imagine your death. I hope it doesn't sound like that.
but I well, okay. I debated about what to do about this hike because I knew it was going to take me a while. But this hike, this particular mountain that I went to, Śnieżka, is quite um, popular and touristy. So I was kind of counting on there being quite a few people around. Now, in actuality, that wasn't the case until about 8 hours into my hike. Well, maybe 6 hours, because I spent I spent the majority of my time on a trail going up a different mountain
Mm-hmm.
that was very, foresty and I don't know if that's even a word, but it was nice.
Foresty.
I don't think I met many people on that trail. Maybe one girl with her dog, and near the top of the mountain I started encountering some like couples, like 50-year-olds and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
um but it was hard.
I thought of another word.
What?
Sylvan.
Ah, it's a nice word.
Well, that's a good word for if you're, describing
It's a nice word. I
a,
like that word.
a
It was very sylvan.
yeah.
Can I use it that way?
I think so. Hmm.
Um, yeah, so that was, I started out, I got off the train. There was a trail right near where this train stop was, and I, went through like little towns. An old man who was drunk at 8:30 in the morning told me which way to go to find the trail.
Cool.
I had a dog follow me for like a half a mile or so. Um, I don't know why he was following me, but he was. I tried to
Did he
throw
look
him bread.
hungry?
He did. I threw him bread, but he didn't want any. So until I yelled at him to stop following me, and then he stopped.
Oh, you could have made a friend.
I didn't know how far he was going to keep going. And then really I was on my own, and it was a long hike.
How many miles was it?
I don't know exactly, because the trails kind of crisscrossed from little town to the next little town.
Uh-huh.
But in total, I hiked 11 hours and 10 minutes.
Wow.
And so I'm thinking it took me 3 hours and 15 minutes to run a half marathon slowly. So I'm guessing that it's somewhere around maybe 20 miles I walked. I don't know for sure.
Goodness.
I'm going to have to get on when I get home and I can access my computer and not just my iPod. I'm going to map it out and see how long it was. It was, and I underestimated the time it would take me to get to the top, because the first 3 hours were good. I went really, it was easy slopes. It was nice. But then getting up this first mountain was really, really hard. And it took me a long time. And then I was like I was in the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was getting to the point where after 6.5 hours, 7 hours, I was really tired. And I had bought chocolate and bread, and I had one peach, and I had quite a bit of water, which is heavy. And so I did buy water in 2 places when I was hiking, but the chocolate helped me keep going. Oh. It was like a chocolate bar with like I don't know how to. It was like crispy wafer and nut in the middle.
Yum.
So it had protein and fat, and I figured it was a good source of energy while I'm
probably got you the sugar
day.
Like really quick too.
Yeah.
And so had the stuff to sustain you.
Yeah. So, I was about 7 hours in, and I was getting really tired, and I thought, I can't keep going. I can't. And then I was like, what are you going to do? Sit on the top of a mountain in the Czech Republic? You have to keep going.
And cry.
Just
Yeah.
I'm like, you just have to keep moving. You just have to keep going. And then I was about, you can see the summit of this mountain, and you're going towards it. And then there's a storm sort of rolling in, and I'm thinking, no, because I had the option of going around and heading back down. And then I thought, I hiked 8 hours to get to this mountain, and I'm not going to go up to the top. I have to go to the top. So I went up to the top. It's raining. It was, you couldn't see anything really up on top, but I got there, and I was able to go in the restaurant and eat and, sort of rejuvenate myself a little bit.
So did you go back the exact same way you came?
No, I went back a different way. Like I did a complete like one-way trail, I guess.
Okay.
It was not a up and back. It was a really long way up and a short way down to a different city. Okay. And then I took a bus back to where my apartment is. So.
Okay, cool.
And I had to take a train. So I took a train like 3 hours in the morning to get to the stop, and then I hiked for 11 hours, and then I took a bus that took about another 3 hours to go home.
Oh my gosh.
So I was up at 3 in the morning. I took a taxi to the train station, took the train, hiked, got a bus, and then got home. I think it was 11 o'clock at night, or maybe it was 10:30. I don't know. It was a long day. It was maybe borderline crazy. But
well, I wouldn't say that, but
it was physically, it's physically exhausting, and I wouldn't have been able to do it you know, I remember when I was running and I was talking about how I wanted to hike this mountain in New York in the Adirondacks, and I never ended up doing it.
Right.
This mountain was about the same height. And the previous week, I had hiked to the top of a mountain with the family that was taller than Mount Marcy in New York. And we hiked every day, 6 days or 5 days in a row. We would do a long hike and then a shorter, easier hike, and then a long hike and then a shorter, easier hike. And we, alternated. And then 2 days or 3 days before, 2 days before this hike, I spent 3.5 hours just walking. Sort of just to like keep going, keep pushing myself to, get used to walking a long time. But I didn't train for this like I had been training before. And so it was tough. This is probably really boring for everybody. I don't know.
No, I don't think it is.
No?
Like, I think Misty is probably riveted right now.
Misty would have loved it, I think. I
bet she would have.
There were, it's so, I don't know. Maybe I haven't hiked enough mountains at this height, at this, this tall elevation. Yeah, thank you. So the flora was very interesting. A lot of pretty flowers, a lot of blueberries, once you get up past 1,300 meters, the trees start to get shorter and you have more like short evergreen bush type plants. And then once you get up past 15 or 1,600 meters, it's an alpine sort of environment, and there's very little, growing up on the top.
Right.
And if you saw any of the pictures on Facebook, you could see that the mountain had like nothing on top.
Just rock.
It was just rock. It was not a very pretty mountain, to be honest. But the view from when you're up there looking around is quite beautiful. So.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so I got to the top. I was able to eat something warm. It was so nice because once you start getting up to that, the top, it gets cold. And I was so glad. A week ago, I bought a new jacket at the North Face for like way cheap. I'm like, the prices here in Poland are really good. So this was on sale and I got a deal on a nice jacket. And I was so glad I bought it because it was so cold up there and so windy. And so anyway, I went into the restaurant and I ate some food. Okay,
let's talk about what you ate, because I saw the picture and I didn't know what it was.
Did you Google it or no?
No, I didn't actually. Okay. But then, because I just meant based on looking at it. I didn't know what it was. I saw the pickle, and then Brian weighed in. And honestly, what he said is kind of what I thought it was. I was like, is that like meat with gravy? And I couldn't tell what it was.
Oh my gosh.
So tell us what it was that you had.
Okay, so it was called wazanki. And actually, wazanki is like a Polish lasagna. Wazanki.
It sounds about like that.
Yeah, I know. And it's something that actually my family has made for years. We always have wazanki, but we don't call it that. We call it Polish lasagna at all of our family, events. It's pasta. The sounds of living in a city. Sorry. It has pasta, sauerkraut, mushrooms, generally a cream sauce base or cream base, and meat. We don't make it with meat, but this I think had some meat in it, usually pork. And then it had a cream. She put another cream sauce on it, and then a pickle. And it was really good. And I drank blue Powerade. And it was like the best meal I'd had in a long time. Or at least I thought so, because I was so, so tired.
Food is always so good after you've worked for it.
And I mean, I ate a 3/4 of a giant candy bar. and then I ate that, and I still think I burned all the calories that I ate.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you burned like twice what you ate.
It was so intense. So anyway, I was up, I rested there for a half hour. There was Wi-Fi. I posted my picture, and then, and then I left, and I think people were like,
what is she doing? Hours. What was that?
Yeah. It was nice that there was Wi-Fi up there.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I got my stamp. Oh, okay. So I've been getting stamps. So, I don't know if this is something that happens in the United States, because I haven't hiked like this in the United States before. Mm-hmm. But throughout the mountain areas here, they have things called sroniskos. And they're like shelters, like a lodge almost, with usually some sort of buffet or cafeteria, or, someone cooking food for, the people who come through. And you can camp there usually, and sometimes they have rooms or a bed, you can stay. But they also have stamps, like a rubber stamp. And, I saw people going through with like a little passport book type of thing, and they would get, they'd stamp their passport book, their hiking passport, with the stamp from that, location. So when I was with the family, I got a couple of these. And then, so I was really excited to keep adding them. And I've been putting them in my dictionary, because I, carry my Polish dictionary with me wherever I go, because you never know when you might need it.
Well, I think that they do have something like that over here.
Yeah, I don't know. And it was really kind of neat. So I got three stamps on my hike yesterday or Friday, and I was happy with that. So, and I have one from the Czech Republic, which is kind of cool. I've been in 3 countries now over here while I'm on my trip.
Well, that's really cool.
So Poland, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic.
Now,
which I never intended to, but there you go. I have pictures at the border sign.
Okay, so last night you tweeted that there was a party going on in the middle of the night.
Yes.
And I tried to help you out.
I know. But I don't trust Google Translate in
I know you don't,
like
but
this.
I even backwards translated it.
It didn't show up, the translation. Like when I clicked on the link, it was just the blank page for Google Translate.
It didn't show up?
No.
Oh, what? Okay. So over here in the chat, I'm gonna, here it is. This is what it translated. So I just want you to read it. Okay?
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Hey, it's 11:11. Make a wish. Only it's not 11:11 where you are, so. 11:11 here. Did it not just show section. Up?
No. I'm not sure here. Elizabeth, let me click on you. Elizabeth added you to the Hangout, but not. All right. Send a message.
Oh, you want me to message you over on this thing? Yeah, this is just junk that will probably get cut out, but here we go.
Okay, that's fine.
Did that work? Did you get a message from me?
Yes. Okay. W kryminaliście górę rzucają prawdziwe. I don't know what this is. Ragę.
Just say Rager. Rager doesn't.
Rager.
Okay.
Rager. I kobieta wymaga jej snu. Proszę sobie z tym szybko, por favor. Por favor is Spanish.
I know it is. I said, the hoodlums upstairs are throwing a real rager. Please deal with this promptly, por favor. Or something like that.
Yeah, please take care of this quickly, por favor.
Yeah.
Yay, snoo. You're something about trying to dream or sleep or something. Anyway, I was planning to yell at them.
No. I'm sorry. I forgot that was in there. A woman needs her beauty sleep. That's what I put. Couldn't remember what it was.
Oh my gosh.
I was just trying to help you out.
Yes, I saw that. And then I was just too tired to know what really you were talking about. And I didn't ignore you.
It was
put
3
my
a.m. It's
headphones
okay.
in.
It's okay.
It was 3:34 a.m. These guys, I went out there at like 1 a.m. on my balcony, and they were so loud. And I was thinking I should really like yell up at them and be like, "Chłopaki, cicho." And then I was like, I don't want to make any problems for the guy who lives in this apartment, because he actually lives here, year round. And I don't want to be the one causing problems. But they were like,
you don't want
they
that
were
on your
loud.
Airbnb review.
No, I know. So, and I'm thinking, you know what? It's a Saturday night. It's Poland.
They're young. They're having fun.
There was probably some kind of match. They probably were watching a game, or they were just, but they partied hard till like 4 a.m. Oh. And it finally around 4, it quieted down. And I finally went to sleep. But it was bad because I like to sleep with the windows open, and I had to close the window, and then I was so warm in here. It was not a good night's sleep. So, but I figure, don't make problems if you don't need to.
It'll be fine. Okay. So back to the food thing though.
Okay.
Like what I thought it was, and like what Brian commented and said, he was like, is this like pork and pickle? It looked like you had like pulled pork. That's what I know it was sauerkraut, but it looked like pulled pork in the lighting. But I think that actually, like if we were to open a pub, I think the pork and pickle would be like a great name for it.
That is a great name. That is a really great name. The pork and pickle.
A pork and pickle.
Can you register that name like without having a business plan yet?
I don't know, but like we could have a pig and like a pickle with arms, like a dancing
hugging each
pickle.
other. Oh, the pork and pickle.
Or like just a ham, like a ham.
No, that's fantastic. I like the pig hugging a pickle with arms. That's fantastic.
If anybody's listening to this and likes to like draw like better than me, they should draw that.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a great name.
Yeah, I know. Where did this come from? I'm trying to remember. Like I was thinking of this and then I heard about it somewhere. Oh my goodness. I was probably listening to another podcast and they were talking about something called pickleback. Which
what?
Don't be pickleback, like pickle back, not like nickelback. That is bad. Okay. This is pickleback.
Pickleback. Okay.
Yes. And so I had to look. I mean, I knew what it kind of was in the context of what was being talked about, but so I looked it up. Okay. A pickleback is a type of shot wherein a shot of whiskey is chased by a shot of pickle brine.
Oh. Yes.
There you go.
Do you know what I miss?
What?
I miss those snow cones with pickle brine juice.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there any way that we can get that when I'm down there?
Yeah, because one of the snow cone stands it's got they have a brick and mortar store and it stays open year round. I'm pretty sure.
You need to check that.
Yeah.
You need to check that because
it's the one over here by my house.
Oh. I was tempted to go to Texas when I get back. Well, not only for that, but to go to a wedding. But I decided that it's just not reasonable to go. But I was looking forward to pickle flavored snow cones. I'm so strange. I love pickles. I can't tell you, I had the best pickles here, homemade by the family that I live with. The father, his mother, made these pickles, and at every meal I was like, "Can I cut up some pickles?" They're like, "Of course." And we went to visit them. We went to visit her like on a Sunday for Sunday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. Pickles, homemade pickles.
It's making my mouth water. I love
and
pickles so much.
They were so crispy, like, you know, crispy. Not like
you could tell just by looking at that pickle that you had with your meal.
Yeah.
It's a different color than pickles end up over here.
And they use a different the ogurki that they use, which is pickles or cucumber. They're different. They're not the commercialized pickles that you buy in the store back home. They're like real cucumbers. So
okay, pickleback may have come out of the South. Imagine that.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
They also drink some pickle juice here for hangovers.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that worldwide? That's
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah. I think it's because of the sodium.
Something.
Stuff. It says the pairing has some history in the southern United States, notably Texas, along with similar pairings globally. Vodka and pickles in Russia, and tequila and pickle brine in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Okay, group Poland in with the Russians.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then I guess recently, like back in 2012, this has suddenly spread to the UK. And so you can find this in bars over there now.
Do you think it's because of the influx of Polish people?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Really?
No, not from what no, I don't think so. No, it looks like it was introduced from people, because some guy started doing it in New York City, and then it looks like it went from New York City over to London. But then it also, maybe not, maybe Scotland. I'm not sure. I'm not really reading this very well, so
okay.
I know. Anyway,
I would do a shot of pickle juice.
Okay. Whenever I was a kid and we would have slumber parties, we would just drink like a whole jar.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
I mean, we would drink a lot of pickle juice, and it's really not very good for you.
No, it's not, but it tastes so good.
It is so good. I love it.
So,
that makes me think that there's another beverage that I've heard of recently that you might be interested in. I don't know enough details about it to talk about it right now, so I will save that for another time.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to think about how to go into this next thing that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So I guess maybe I'll just jump right into it. I'll just
dive right in. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have a blog, and I've had one for I've had this current iteration of it for 10 years. Before that, I had other ones. So I've been doing this for a long time. And, there was a point in my life whenever, and the internet was different then and I didn't care what people knew about me. I wasn't like I was going to broadcast my address or anything, but I would share personal information and stories. And then, of course, I dialed it back a little whenever I started working, different places. There were always things that I wouldn't be specific about. And then, so I wouldn't talk about work. And then other personal things that maybe at one point I had felt free to discuss on my blog. For one reason or another, I decided to stop. Like and I think I may have mentioned it on this podcast before about, a parent at the school where I worked. She approached me and told me that she had been reading my blog and had watched my wedding and everything. And that was kind of, a moment for me to sit back and really think about the stuff I was putting out there. And the thing was, I didn't have any connection to this parent. And so the only reason she found this is because either she was Googling my name. Well, no, she was like Googling my name. That's it. And it made me really uncomfortable. And so I did a kind of a clean out on my blog. But basically what I'm trying to get around to talking about, at another time, I had somebody approach me and I had mentioned something, and this person says, "Wow, I never knew that about you." And like was saying it in a way like that they were almost offended by it. Like, well, if this is true and if this has been true about you for so long, then why haven't you ever talked about it on your blog or on social media or something? And I was like, I don't have to, you know, like why? And this is actually a person that you and I, this is sharing too much information, but it's somebody that you and I both know. And they were just like, you know, well, if this is the case, then why weren't you talking about it all the time? And like acted shocked that I'm actually a little more private than I guess some people assume
more private
that
than other people assumed. Yeah.
Right. Like, I guess this person assumed that if you have a blog, you are not a private person. But I don't think that the two are mutually exclusive. But then I guess I've just been thinking about what information people feel entitled to. And, because in most anybody who has a blog can tell you this, like that you can see what people are searching for on your blog. And you and I have had several conversations about this, but I don't think I've ever talked about it on here. But that people who know me go to my blog and search for very specific information. And I know I can't stop them. I know I have a blog, and that is just part of it. Like that people are interested, and if they think that they notice a lack of something or just get curious or whatever, and they're going to go there and look. And I just kind of want to be like, what makes it any of your business? And if you were in my life and needed to know that, you would know.
Yeah, instead, I don't know. It's a strange thing. And you know that I deleted pretty much my whole entire blog.
Yeah, I know.
Because of maybe not exactly the same situation, but I was just like, I don't know if I came to a point where I thought, I don't want to be so public. And I don't want, maybe it was a result of some of the things that you were experiencing. And I thought, I don't want my whole life out there, you know. Well, I don't know, because you're right. I think you're right. People want to know more, and they think that your whole life should be out there if you're blogging and stuff. So it's
right.
I don't know. I'm not.
And I get it, because like there are certain things that I used to blog about that I don't anymore.
But I think age too has something to do with it. Don't you think?
Right.
Like,
well, and there's just been kind of a general shift in what, number one, I don't write as much on there as I used to. And, I don't know. I decided to not share certain aspects of my life because, I started thinking about, I don't fault anybody who posts a picture of their kid on the internet or whatever, but I started thinking about that and how I might deal with it whenever, you know, that situation arose for me, and I wasn't sure. And so I kind of started putting up like a fence, as far as personal things. And every once in a while I'll write something, but it's more of a reflection rather than this is what's happening with me right now. But I don't remember if I told you this when it happened, but a few months ago. So, and I'm being very vague here, and I'm not going to be specific about it because I don't want to fuel any non-existent fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, but somebody out of the blue, I am not close friends with this person. Just up and sent me a direct message on Twitter and bluntly asked me the question. Like something not her business. But I kind of had to give her a little respect because she asked me to my face. Well, not to my face, to my Twitter. Rather than going to my blog and searching and spending hours on my blog looking for something that's not there. And I was like, you know what? And I answered her. I said, nope, but here's the deal. And here is why. And she's like, oh, okay. I was just curious and concerned. No, you're nosy and a busybody. But I will answer your question. Whatever. Oh. It's been a while since I had a little rant. Like maybe last podcast? Did I?
Maybe.
Anyway, that's just something that.
Yeah, I know. Interesting. I don't know what to think, really. I guess I would have to spend more time thinking about it, but it's really not anybody's business. If you don't talk about it, then it's not their business.
Right. If the door is
period end. Yeah. Basically. But I learned the word in Polish for nosy busybody.
Yeah.
Wścibski.
That sounds right.
I hope I said it right.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe not for this podcast, but on another one, can we talk about relationships with women?
Sure.
I think we've talked about
that before.
Well, I think we have, but I have more to say about it.
Okay.
So, like, I was listening to Dr. Drew the other day, and he was talking about women and shunning behaviors, and anyway, it gave me some things to think about. Okay, so last time we talked, there was a bra situation.
Yeah, so for any of our male listeners who are not interested in this topic,
in bra talk,
you might want to just turn the volume down for a few minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so before you tell me about your experience, let me just let you know. So the straitjacket bra that I was wearing last time we recorded, so I had to keep the one that I was wearing.
And did you return the other?
But I returned the other. I was like, this is just not working for me. And I showed the girl the wire on the side. There was a different girl working in the shop this time. And she says, no, I don't think that worked for me either. And so she showed me like I kind of described what I was looking for. And so she showed me some other ones, and actually those, anyway, never mind, that too much detail. So I found these, and I returned the original bra, got 2 bras, and walked out of there with more money in my pocket than whenever I went in. Because the original bras that the other lady had sold me, pretty expensive. And I'm thinking maybe that's why she tried to sell them to me.
Maybe.
And I just, took her word for it. It was comfortable when I put it on, but, not comfortable when I moved around. But no, these new ones I'm very happy with.
Oh, good. So, last time you also told me that I should get a fitting or measuring. I don't know, whatever it is.
It's a fitting.
Fitting? Okay. Mm-hmm. And because apparently Poland's where it's at for bras, apparently, according to
me.
You. So I went ahead and decided I was going to go try to find something. And I had a really bad experience in the first store. Because on the outside of the store, they said they had sizes that would, fit.
Accommodate,
fit anyone, right? Mm-hmm. No. And all the girls that worked there were like these tiny little, like skinny little things. And
was this Polish Victoria's Secret?
It was an Italian brand store. So I should have known right there that maybe this is not the best. But anyway, I sort of looked through the windows of some other stores and they didn't have like anything that I thought would be appropriate. I went in this store and they were nice enough, but she gave me a couple and I was like, I knew they weren't going to fit. Like she measured me and I was like, no, lady, this is not right. I humored her and then I said goodbye. And so when I went back to my Polish school, I asked my teacher, like, where can I go? Where can I go? Because I want something that's nice, not just functional, but nice looking.
Yeah, something that works and looks pretty.
Yes, because I don't think that I should be in a position to just have functionality.
Right.
Why? That's not fair. And to be honest, I think most of what I can find in the United States, at least from my experience, is functional.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I got the lowdown. And Marks and Spencer. Which is, by the way, a British store.
Yes, it is.
And so I was looking on their website, and they have a collection that is perfectly suited for what I was looking for.
Right.
And I went with my size that I, wear and found a nice looking piece and fits perfectly. Thanks. Elizabeth, I have never had such a nice looking bra that fits.
I'm so happy for you.
And is comfortable. Okay, because like it's so comfortable and it looks nice and it fits right. Like even the size that I would wear and I buy in the United States, it's the fit is not the way it's supposed to fit. Mm-hmm. And this fits. This fits perfectly. Like I am excited. So
maybe I'll go there and try to look for one. I've had that recommended to me before, and I will tell you, the British people know what they're doing with bras too. I have ordered from. I think I may have shared this with you once before. I've ordered from Curvy Kate, which the fit was fine, but there was kind of a weird spot that rubbed me funny, like in my back. And I am very particular. If something is rubbing, then I can't do it.
Forget it. Nope.
Yeah. But they have cute stuff too. I just would rather like.
And they're a British place. British store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Marks and Spencer, they don't have them in the U.S. But if you spend over £30, they're free. They have free shipping to the United States.
Shut up.
I just read it last night.
Oh wow.
So I don't know exactly how much £30 is, but I think it's like maybe $40, $45, something like that. Yeah.
I'm getting pretty good at it, like in my head. Yeah.
So you could be worth a look. And you know what else I liked about that store?
What?
Here's what I liked. They have an inclusive sort of mentality. So the clothing that they have on the rack is it is not separated by size. Like ladies here and Mrs. over here. Because, like, why? Why do we have to do this in the United States? I don't understand.
So this. Wait, I never remember the difference. Like, which one is Mrs.? Does Mrs. mean?
Or what Mrs. and women's? I don't know. Whatever the difference is. Something is. But.
I know what you mean.
They have the sizes from, like, 6 to 20 something. And I'm like, see, they're all in the same rack. And it's not like you're searching to find a normal size. And they have really nice stuff. Yeah. And I might go back and buy some more things because I bought a dress at a Polish store for, like, the equivalent of $18. And it's a nice dress. Cool. And I'm like, wow, it's so cheap to buy clothes here. Anyway. Marks and Spencer. It could possibly be my new favorite store.
Oh, yay. Okay. So you're coming back.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And then.
Yes.
Basically 2 months from when you come back.
Yes. I'm going to come visit you for your birthday.
I'm going to be 31. You know what I think we need to happen?
What?
I think we need the 31st episode of this podcast to coincide with my 31st birthday.
I think we can do it because this is what, 27?
Yes.
28, 29. Oh, we can do that. Because I'm unemployed. So I'm going to have free time. And yeah, it'll work out.
That'll work. Yeah. And I was thinking maybe, possibly, I don't know. Do I want to spill the beans? I haven't even talked to these people about it yet, but what if we had a couple of special guest stars?
Oh, we should.
Yeah.
We should totally have guest stars.
Yeah.
This is going to be an exciting couple of months, I think, for the podcast.
I think so too.
Because I'm going to come visit in 2 months, and we've had some interesting topics lately, and we're looking at some really interesting, possibly controversial topics for the future. Oh, yeah.
What? You mean like relationships with women, or what?
Well, that and the idea
by relationships, I mean like friendships. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, transportation.
Right. Oh yeah, we're probably going to get into it there. Okay, so there's another. That's one of the things that we're talking about. Yeah, planning for whenever you come out. It occurred to me that, I mean, I always go on about how public transportation is so terrible out here. And
same as in Rochester.
Right. And you can't really rely on it. Right. And so I asked Jolene if she would want to try it out whenever she comes out here. Like if we might just take a day and get from my city, my town that is outside of Oklahoma City, and take a bus up to the city and just make our way around and do things like enjoy ourselves and see if we can do that using only public transportation. So, because I can already see where the hitch is going to be.
You know that this is like going to be a frustrating experience.
I'm going to try to not go into it with that mentality.
I will try to go into it with that mentality too, but it's not like over here in Europe. It's just not. So
yeah.
Like you could get on a bus at whatever time. It's like there's I just think it will be an interesting experiment because if you live in New York City or you live in a city that has, access to a metro, it's a different story. But when you live in a city like, mid-size or small-size city that is not New York or Los Angeles or whatever, it's a different experience. It's not like, even small cities here have great public transportation systems.
Yeah.
So we'll go into that. We might possibly even interview people. We'll be like a real podcast. No, we are a real podcast, but you know.
We are real.
I know we are real.
I need to say hello to some people that may be listening to our podcast now. I don't know. So I got a message on Twitter from, well, it was really more like eavesdropping on a conversation because our podcast got mentioned in the conversation. And so it's these podcasters, Joey, and I am sorry, I cannot remember the other guy's name, but it's okay because Joey was the one who was actually talking to me. That they host a podcast called Internet Boyfriends. Okay. And I've listened to a few episodes and it's enjoyable. I like it. Some of their stuff's light and funny, and then they get deeper into stuff as well. And it's all
Are they great. Like the male version of us?
Well, okay. That's the thing. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to be insulting to them. But Joey said that Facebook has been recommending our podcast as an alternative to his podcast for like 6 months now.
What?
I know. And now I don't know where it's recommending this at or anything, but that was enough to make me curious.
Really?
Anyway. Yeah, and I think he's in New Jersey and the other guy is other guy. The other guy's Canadian, so I don't know where he is.
We shouldn't offend them.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Canadians. I mean, you're practically Canadian.
Yeah.
You're not, but you're almost.
Yeah.
You're really close.
Across the lake.
Just to swim across the lake. You could go illegally immigrate to Canada.
Yeah.
Swim across the lake.
I don't even need to swim across. I can just walk across.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it might take a while, but
yeah. Okay. So
I'm
another
excited
thing
about this. I'm gonna have to listen to this podcast now.
They do like show notes, and so you can see a little bit about what they're talking about and see if it's one that's going to interest you. And I'll go back through the ones that I've listened to and recommend some for you.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks, Joey and the other guy. I'm so sorry. It's terrible.
Oh, this is totally unrelated.
What?
I have to say it because I'm so excited about it.
Okay.
I have lost 15 pounds.
Good for you.
Since I've been here in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is exciting.
It's very
But
exciting.
but coming home, it has me worried a little bit because here I walk everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but I walk to many places. And when I go home, I just don't think that's going to be a possibility. So I have to figure out some plan on what to do about this. Because I think I'm going to do more hiking, to be honest. But by the time that winter arrives, that will be maybe not as easy. So I don't know.
You'll figure something out.
Yeah. Are we going to hike?
Oh, and we do have to go hiking whenever you're in Oklahoma.
Yeah, we do. But this time, let's bring enough water with us.
Well, and it'll be November, so...
Yeah, it won't be like August in the middle of...
unless we have a heat wave.
Yeah. Oh.
But we've had a really mild summer.
It's been hot here, though.
Oof.
We've been having a heat wave here.
Okay, I need a new planner.
What happened to your old one?
Well, I don't mean now. I mean, I'm like, no, that one's fine. I need one for next year. I'm starting to plan things for next year.
Oh. What are you going to get?
I'm not sure yet. And now the one that I have for this year was the Desire Map day planner. And I was going to look into getting something different. However, it's been revamped the new one, like, it gets released tomorrow, the one
Oh,
for
really?
next year. Yeah, and so I'm glad I haven't gone ahead and, purchased something else because I am going to wait and see what it looks like because maybe it'll be what I want. I don't know. Because I kind of like to have a day planner.
Mm-hmm.
I like a page for a day.
For each day, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I understand how that works.
Yeah.
And you're still
We'll
very
see.
much a writing down everything in a book kind of person.
Yeah. When I remember to. See, that's the other thing. Sometimes I'll go a month and not write anything in it.
Really?
Yeah, that seems like such a waste. Hey, I sometimes I forget, and I'm just too busy doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So then I don't remember to write them down.
I see.
Okay.
What?
There's another thing we haven't talked about yet.
Okay.
Are you short on time or anything? Are you good?
No, I'm not in any rush.
Okay.
How are we doing on time?
I don't know. It's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I made a spur of the moment decision last week.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just
You
did something.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling a week later? Well, almost a week later.
I feel great.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I feel better than I did like 4 hours after I did it. Like I felt awesome for a few hours and then reality set in and I was like, what have I done? And I started looking at bus schedules and trying to figure out how I'm going to get from Dumfries to Wigtown, and that gave me a stomach ache because I don't like thinking about, I don't like thinking about making like getting to the bus on time and because getting to the bus on time just really isn't my thing. It's just okay. So what I am doing, most people who listen to this probably already know, but I saw an article in the Guardian about this bookstore in this little town in Scotland, which is like their national book town, and it's a town full of bookstores. It's just like my dream. And you can go there and stay, like live above this bookshop and run this bookshop called The Open Book. And
I think that's a fascinating idea, to be honest.
Well, I saw it and I read it and I was thinking, man, that's really cool. I should do that sometime. And then the more I thought about it, I couldn't figure out why not to do it right now. So I did it.
You signed up.
Signed up.
Signed your life away. No,
not really.
Not really. You signed up for your dream.
I did. And I think it's going to be great.
And then there's a possibility that I can come.
Yep. Oh, I mean, like there's a place for you if you want to stay.
I know.
So, but like, I didn't sign up for this with like, okay, my whole thought process going into it was,
this would be a post
pre whatever, like if assuming that our trip plans happen, that I could make this work. So that's what it is. So like I don't want you to think that I booked this thinking that you would come, because I actually had no intention of you coming with me. But then I was like, oh well, if Jolene wants to do that, she can. But so
we'll have to see. We'll have to work out schedules and see what happens with that.
Yeah,
because I don't know, to be honest, what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know you don't know.
So
you have a lot of possibilities. So,
yeah, I know.
But that is what I will be doing next May. I will be running a bookshop in a little town on the coast of Scotland.
It's so crazy and yet not at the same time. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, I know. Well, and now I've been reading up on it a little bit more, like in the whole. So I looked up Wigtown on YouTube and I found this video of this woman talking about her experience and how she left the hustle and bustle of LA, and because she had this dream, this vision where she was running a bookshop in Scotland, and there was no good reason for her to have this sort of dream. She just had it because she had no connection to Scotland at all. But so she contacted one of the bookstore owners, and it's better if you go like read her account of all of this. Yeah. But and so she goes out there and she stays for a month, and then she goes back home, and she can't stop thinking about Wigtown or the owner of the bookshop. And so anyway, then she loses her job and realizes I can just go back. Like I can go back to Wigtown. And so she goes back to Wigtown, and she's been there for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? It's a really cool story. And okay, so I found that, and then come to find out that is my contact person.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's written a memoir about it, and so I'm gonna have to read that.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to read it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just love that idea. I love people deciding that their life can be different, that they don't have to keep doing what they're doing just because they've always done it.
I
love it.
Yeah. I'm getting a little sentimental.
I'm
sorry. I'm like a little sentimental right now.
You are?
Yeah, because I was like thinking that this year would be like exactly like that for me.
I know.
And it's not working out quite exactly the way I thought it would. And it's okay, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
Maybe it's just not the time.
Could be.
Everything works out the way that it's supposed to.
I know, and I know that sounds cliched and stuff, like, but it's true.
It really does.
I know. So I have to just remember that and not get upset about it. So
I watched a movie last night that I really liked.
What one was it?
It's called Comet.
Was it on Netflix? Oh, okay. I'll have to add it to my queue. I can't watch Netflix here. It's like, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's non-linear. It's a love story. It gets a little sad. Maybe it's all a dream. Who knows?
You love those non-linear stories, don't you?
That is my thing. This was perfect for me. This was perfect. I mean, is it like it says a parallel universe? That's what it says at the beginning. It's in, like a parallel universe. And I love things like that. It's a little wordy. I think that, okay, so what's his face? Oh, I can't think of his name that's in it. He's the guy who looks like Jimmy Fallon, but he's younger than him. An actor. I don't know. I know you don't know. I know you don't. I know. Goodness.
It's like the wrong person to ask.
I know. But then Emmy Rossum is in it. Now, you know Emmy Rossum? She was Christine.
I might recognize her face.
Yeah, she's Christine in the film version of Phantom of the Opera from 2005. Four.
Okay, five? Maybe I don't know her.
Five. Yeah, because I went on a date to see that movie. Bad decision. So she's in it, and then the guy who wrote it and directed it is who I don't know if she's married to him or if they're dating or whatever, what it is exactly. But um, sometimes I think people like to hear the sound of their own voice, and sometimes that extends to, writers. And so they do a lot of dialogue, like, anyway. I think I'm probably guilty of it as well, but my stuff's not on TV yet. But I really liked it. It's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it.
I might have to check that out.
Well, I've probably kept you long enough.
Yeah, I should probably go back to my homework.
Well, I don't even know what song I'm going to put at the end of this today.
I don't even have any recommendations yet. I'll think about it. Maybe some British song.
Something British?
Or a song about bras.
Are there songs about bras?
I have no idea.
Well, now I have to go look it up to see if there's a song about a bra out there.
Or maybe hiking alone in the mountains. I don't know. You're the creative one.
I just got an idea.
Okay. Okay, surprise us.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Jolene. I will talk to you again soon.
And yeah, I'll be back in 2 weeks, so.
All right. Yay. All right. See ya.
I'll talk to you. Bye.
Bye.